Gamergate 2.0 is off to a bit of a different start than what we've seen the first time around, but it's still no less pervasive, and it is still no less pernicious than it was a decade ago. It's just the field of battle has changed quite a bit. Yes, mainstream press, as we've seen with the first Kotaku article, as I and so many other people pointed out, yeah, that's kind of the Gamasutra Gamers Are Dead article of this iteration. Hey guys, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do exactly what they say that they do. No, they're just simply a consultancy firm. The diversity push has always been in video games. It's always been here. So instead of an overt attack, they're deciding to go the covert gaslighting route. And guess what? It has the equal amount of success, because for all the mainstream outlets, pushing back, going to the defense of Sweet Baby Inc., it's not really working out that well this time around. So let's take a look at some of the articles that are out there. Do you want another Gamergate? Because this is how you get another Gamergate. And this time the big megaphone, it's on the other side of the table. It's the independent creators that are out there. It is the gamers who have gone through a decade of a desolation in their chosen entertainment medium. Cast your minds back to 2014. Was gaming in a better position then when it comes to the quality of games that are out there? The number of high quality games that have been out there in any given year. Like the biggest years in gaming in recent times, and even though we're looking back 15 years, I guess that still counts as recent times. Like last year did have a disproportionate number of big releases. A lot of them failed. A few of them ended up succeeding. A couple of them, maybe in a couple years time, will be looked back on as all-time greats. Baldur's Gate 3, more than likely. I don't really know what the staying power of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is going to be. Maybe Super Mario Brothers Wonder, a good chance on that one, but big budget flops, it kind of offsets all the goodwill that ended up manifesting. You got Spooderman 2, nobody's talking about that, and they're still working on trying to get out a new game plus, but you better well make sure that you can't have access to any mods that get rid of the obnoxious pride flags that are everywhere in that game, or weird priorities that you have there. Or Starfield, less said about that the better, because nobody remembers Starfield. And then to kick off this year with Suicide Squad kills the Justice League and ends up killing mass media, the game space. Well, shout out to that game for actually doing the one thing correctly by doing that. But to the surprise of no one, the mainstream press, as well as members of the overall Western video game industry, have responded to the recent and well-deserved scrutiny labeled at their work the inclusion-focused narrative consulting company Sweet Baby Inc. by doing their best to run defense for their ideological allies. Circling the Wagons from Sweet Baby Inc. first kicked off on March 6th when Kotaku published a piece on the site by senior editor Alyssa "You Can't Be Racist to White People Mercante." Headline: Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does, but it does. And they will tell you on their website, which they put up DDoS protection, okay, which they're going to try to use as, the angry neckbeard basement dweller incel gamers were trying to bombard our website. And in actuality, the only attacks have come from the mass media. Sweet Baby Inc. side to this equation. Don't let them gaslight you. Therein, Mercanti only attempted to play shocked victim after she was kicked from the Discord server Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list, whilst trying to dig up dirt on the company detractors. Yeah, and then also, like I said, for all of the claims of harassment that they're going to throw out there and already have and will continue to do in the future, why they put up the DDoS protection on the Sweet Baby Inc. website, it's still up. You can still access it, by the way. You don't need an archive link or anything like that. It was taken down for a second just to put in the DDoS protection. But when it comes to targeted harassment, yeah, they were trying to do that to the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list. And, shout out to Cabrutus, who is fantastically capitalizing on the situation, seeing the thirst for your average game player out there, just wanting the disassociation of this identity politics from video gaming, and he's setting up his own website, setting up his own persona. Good for him, because he just created a Steam list, okay? Like, this guy had no intentions of this thing absolutely blown up. He's just a dude from Brazil, okay, who wanted to catalog bad video games on a Steam list, all the Sweet Baby Inc. Genesis, the 16 games on this list that he doesn't recommend because Sweet Baby Inc. is involved and because they don't add anything to a project other than terrible creative decisions. So he just wanted to let people know about it. Here's the games that they work on that are available on Steam. Avoid at all costs. And then it ended up blowing up, and as directed by some people affiliated with Sweet Baby Inc., his Steam page was getting mass reported. And at the end of last week, I do believe he ended up getting a note that, yeah, okay, you need to properly moderate your community on Steam. You could be running a list that is affront to our rules. And we'll see that because I got one article pulled up. Because like I said, their communication from the mass media, from the journals that are out there, yeah, it's a lot more covert this time around than the overt. Gamers are dead. You don't need gamers. They've changed it up a little bit. But they're still obviously calling for directed harassment while crying out at pain at the same time. Where have we heard that before? Anyways, so it is with great pride that I say, based Valve. Thank you, Valve Software, for respecting your players' freedom of choice. And also to Lord Gabe for building such an amazing platform for us. We are here to stay, as because it provided all the information, the issue. Yeah, I'm closing the help request, unrelated issue. So yes, all of those targeted attacks on Cabrutus's Sweet Baby Inc. detective page didn't end up manifesting anything, because guess what? He didn't break the rules. Following Kotaku's stepping into the ring, while Mercanti turned her attentions to denying the existence of anti-white racism and condescendingly writing off YouTuber Lorena Carroll as a pick-me girl. Oh, really? Wow. For daring to disagree with her. PC Gamer's Harvey Brandel. Yes, and that's the article that we have pulled up right here, and it's basically a rewriting of the Kotaku article. So yeah, go ahead and draw those parallels once again to all of those hacks back in 2014, ripping off the original Leigh Alexander Gama Sutra article. A company called Sweet Baby Inc. has become the target of anti-woke gamers because it offers consultancy work and industry standards since that's been normal for years. It's always been here, guys. I don't know what the problem is, okay? And somebody else who was hopped in the ring on this one, stupid trash Eurogamer, Spider-Man, Alan Awake, ridiculous fishing developers, Sweet Baby Inc. Steps up in support of the consultancy. Yes, studio Sweet Baby Inc. Oh, right. Yes, you have Insomniac, Remedy, and I haven't heard of Ridiculous Fishing, but a bit of a step down. And Eurogamer's article, we don't even need to bring up, because Community Notes has got our back for the first time in a long time, providing adequate context instead of just weird ways to try to dunk on posts. Anyways, the article fails to mention the backlash was in response to a targeted harassment campaign initiated by Sweet Baby Inc. employees in an attempt to ban both the Steam Curator group along with the curator's personal Steam account. Oof. Oof. Smacked back from half court. That's what this PC Gamer article attempts to do, failing so, okay? And I noticed, because this article dropped, I think, early Friday morning. I had already done a video, a couple of different videos on the subject, and obviously, and then specifically on the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam group, they had already, okay, and this was about a week prior to this article dropping, which lets you know that it's all been coordinated, and especially by that second paragraph that's right there, them pointing out that the Steam group has picked up traction to the tune of 70,000 members. When I did my video, you can see it, it's in the thumbnail. They had north of 100,000 users. Now they've eclipsed 200, pushing on 300,000 users. That lets me know that there's probably chat rooms. I'm sure that there are messages between all of the big publications. When are you going to drop your article? What are you saying in yours? What sources are you using? Because this PC Gamer article is exactly the blueprint that Kotaku's article is. Everybody's going to be ripping off that, and this is what those reprints are going to end up looking like, so that they can continue to just cite one another without providing any external receipts. As per Kotaku report on the subject yesterday, a Steam group has picked up traction due to the tune around 70,000 members at the time of writing. It's called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, as if to warn discerning customers of invasive DRM or something. See, that's all gamers care about. Okay, that's all they care about. They don't care about good stories, competent characters, apolitical prompts. No. They shouldn't care about that stuff. You need to care about what we tell you to care about. Instead of warning against potentially sketchy software, there's other, hey man, if you're worried about that stuff, go create your own group. Oh, right. It's not going to matter, because that's not the big pressing issue in the industry. Though these concerned gamers have instead perceived a rising tide of ideology that's somehow taking over the industry by force. What's this perceived rising tide somehow taking over the industry? Take a look at Western games that are out there right now. You cannot find one that hasn't been perverted by this agenda. Pick one. You can't. You can't. Coming out of a Western studio, absolutely not. Because if you take a look at what's coming out of the East, it is either getting painted with a broad brush that the entire industry, the AAA industry, has been subverted, or you have a situation like Stellar Blade where they're just unapologetically based and gonna do whatever they want. Kotaku's senior editor spoke to a handful of members of the Discord group. Oh yeah, you talked to a few of them. Only referenced one of them. Oh, because the other one was just far too logical. Laid out his arguments a little bit too well, and that Alyssa couldn't character assassinate or misrepresent his quotes because it was airtight stuff. In other words, the stuff that caused an entire fleet of gamers to construct their own anti-woke sci-fi convention, rally against power-saving console features as they were a big statement on climate change, or start lengthy Twitter threads about how accurately rendered alloy with the usual amount of hair a woman has on her face. What are we doing, man? This is PC Gamer, huh? You're supposed to talk about hardware, right? Consultation work is a complete non-event, right guys? Sweet Baby Inc. is a narrative development company, according to its CEO, Kim Belair. Well, what else has she had to say about the industry? Oh, you don't want to talk about that, do you? And described as a consultation studio on its website. What else does it describe? Does it describe its push and its insertion of diversity and inclusion? No, you don't want to mention that? Of course not here. And plus, we won't link to the website because, you just don't believe your lying eyes. Believe what we tell you. Here's a great breakdown, right, of exactly what entails a narrative designer that's actually worked with Sweet Baby before. Okay, see, just listen to somebody who's ideologically possessed and who's down for the cause over there. Unbelievable. It starts with a dev team and it has an idea. Maybe they already have an outline of their story and core gameplay loop. Maybe they've got whole scripts and a playable build. Either way, something is missing. Mary Kenny writes. Oh, Mary Kenny would be the person that protected their tweets after it was found out that they're going to be working on Insomniac's Wolverine game and has a whole host of anti-white rhetoric. You wonder why they work so well together with Kotaku in the background to craft these narratives, because reality is a little bit more of a fickle mistress than what games journos were hoping that it was. So as much as they want to say that, oh, Sweet Baby Inc. isn't ruining games, obviously, yeah, because they did some consultancy work for God of War Ragnarok. And guess what? People like that game who played it. And for all of those people just crying woke, oh, see, Sweet Baby Inc. worked on God of War Ragnarok, does see why it sucks? It's like, yeah, the Angrboda stuff, the race swapped Norse character, okay, that section was bad. Even the people that like the game is like, yeah, that's the bad part. But the rest of it, the narrative, the father-son dynamic, yeah, nothing woke about that. You just go ahead and paint it all with a broad brush. And that's also what's happening with another game. But I'm going to talk about that in a separate video because it's kind of breaking my heart. But then at the same time, it's kind of a symptom of this deeper rot. And the sooner that we can root this out, the quicker we can get back to a thriving gaming industry that is actually thriving instead of being held up by a bunch of mobile gotcha games. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.